What happens when two titans clash in the unforgiving terrain of the Himalayas? This is a tale of tension and conflict woven into the rugged landscape of Ladakh, a strategic region nestled in the Himalayan mountains. Our story begins in 2022, with China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi drawing criticism from India for his remarks on Kashmir. India rebukes the minister, asserting that other countries, including China, have no right to interfere in the internal affairs of Jammu and Kashmir. The tension between these two nations, already strained from a deadly border clash in Ladakh the previous year, simmers. Fast forward a few months to 2023. India and China are investing heavily in new light tanks designed specifically for high-altitude warfare in the Himalayan region. China deploys the Type 15 light tank, known for its maneuverability and advanced features. India, not to be outdone, initiates Project Zorawar, developing its own light tank to address the limitations of its heavy main battle tanks in mountainous terrain. The Indian Light Tank Project, in partnership with Larsen and Toubro, aims to enhance mobility and firepower. It introduces features such as an autoloader, a remote-controlled machine gun, and smart munitions capability. China's Type 15, weighing between 33 and 36 tons, boasts advanced electronics, explosive reactive armor, and a 105 rifled gun with an autoloader. The stage is set for a power play in the Himalayan theater. By the end of 2023, both India and China have significant deployments of these new tanks in the disputed border region. The tension reaches a boiling point. Despite ongoing negotiations and attempts at de-escalation, both nations maintain a significant military presence in the Ladakh region. This is a clash of titans, not just of military might, but of strategy, innovation, and determination. It's a battle fought in the shadow of the majestic Himalayas, a testament to human tenacity and our relentless pursuit of victory. In summary, this is a tale of two nations, India and China, locked in a high-stakes battle of wills in the rugged terrain of Ladakh. It's a story of tension and conflict, of innovation and strategy, and of the relentless pursuit of victory. The implications of this clash are far-reaching, affecting not just these two nations, but the geopolitical dynamics of the entire region. In the unforgiving terrain of the Himalayas, the dance of these titans continues, shaping the future of this strategic region.
Could the rise of a rogue organization tip the scales of power in a region already teetering on the edge of conflict? Welcome to the unfolding story of the Crimson Wolves and their audacious quest to destabilize the Indian subcontinent. In the early months of 2024, the world first heard the name Crimson Wolves. Emerging from the shadows, this terrorist organization declared their intent to disrupt the already tense geopolitical situation in the Ladakh region of India. A mere fortnight after their chilling declaration, the Crimson Wolves began their campaign of fear. Key military installations in Ladakh came under attack. Despite the Indian military's valiant efforts, the Crimson Wolves proved to be a formidable adversary. As the threat intensified, the Indian Air Force, well-trained and battle-hardened, was mobilized. With the echoes of past conflicts with China and Pakistan still ringing in their ears, these brave men and women took to the skies, determined to defend their nation's sovereignty and repel the encroaching enemy forces. The situation escalated rapidly. Each passing day brought new challenges, new battles, and unfortunately, new casualties. The world watched in anticipation, wondering if India, a country already grappling with the challenges of modernizing its military forces, could withstand this onslaught. Yet, in the midst of this turmoil, India did not stand alone. Despite strained relationships and past conflicts, nations from around the globe began to offer their support. It was a stark reminder that in our increasingly interconnected world, the sparks of conflict can have far-reaching effects. As the situation continues to unfold, one thing remains clear. The resolve of the Indian people, their military, and their leadership remains unbroken. Despite the Crimson Wolves' attempts to sow chaos and fear, India stands strong, steadfast in its defense of sovereignty and peace. In summary, we've witnessed the rise of the Crimson Wolves, their campaign of terror in the Ladakh region, and the mobilization of the Indian Air Force in response. We've seen the escalation of conflict and the global response to this crisis. And throughout it all, we've seen the resilience and determination of the Indian people. The world watches, waits, and hopes for peace. This is not just the story of a nation under threat, but the story of a nation that refuses to be broken.
In the heart of the Indian Air Force, a name echoes through the corridors, a name that embodies courage, dedication, and tactical brilliance. That name is Wing Commander Vikram Singh. A seasoned veteran, Singh has flown countless missions, his every decision in the cockpit shaped by a razor-sharp mind and an unwavering resolve. His reputation precedes him, a reputation carved from the annals of military history, punctuated by daring feats and strategic masterstrokes. Our tale begins on a day like any other. The sun rose, casting a warm glow on the tarmac, where the heartbeat of the Indian Air Force pulsed. But this was no ordinary day. For Wing Commander Singh and his squadron, it was a day of reckoning, a day etched in destiny. The enemy was the Crimson Wolves, a rogue faction that had entrenched itself in the region, spreading fear and unrest. Their strongholds were
What does it mean to stand on the brink of chaos, where the clash of ideologies becomes a symphony of roaring engines and streaking missiles? Welcome to the realm of modern warfare, a high-stakes chess game where the pieces are not only made of wood or plastic, but of steel, fire, and human lives. Our story unfolds in the heart of conflict, where the cunning and ruthless Amir Khan leads a band of well-armed, highly trained terrorists. These are not just men of violence, but men of conviction, fighting for a cause they believe is just. Their weapons are more than just tools of destruction. They are their voice, their means of expressing their determination. Opposing them are the Indian forces, a bulwark of discipline and valor. Their resolve is unyielding, their spirit indomitable. In the face of overwhelming odds, they stand firm, ready to defend their homel.
What does it mean to be brave? To be a hero? Can we measure it in the number of battles fought? Or is it about the courage to stand tall when adversity strikes? Take a moment and delve into some extraordinary stories of bravery and heroism that have emerged from the chaos of battle. These are tales of the Indian Air Force, where pilots and ground troops alike have displayed unmatched determination in the face of danger. Consider the story of Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman. In the February of 2019, he found himself in the heart of enemy territory. His aircraft shot down, he was alone and surrounded. But did he surrender? No. He stood his ground, armed with nothing but his bravery and a determination to uphold his duty, even in the face of capture. Or how about the tale of squadron leader Minty Agarwal? Working tirelessly behind the scenes, she guided our fighter pilots during the same skirmish, her quick decision-making and calm demeanor under pressure saving countless lives. Her bravery may not have been on the battlefield, but it was no less significant. Then there's the story of Group Captain Varan Singh. In the December of 2021, he was the sole survivor of a tragic helicopter crash. Despite his injuries, he showed immense courage, fighting for his life with the same tenacity he showed in his service. His indomitable spirit serves as a shining beacon of heroism. These are but a few examples of the bravery that permeates the Indian Air Force. Each member, whether they're in the cockpit of a fighter jet or at a radar station, shows a steadfast resolve to defend their homeland. So what can we glean from these stories of bravery and heroism? First, bravery is not about the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward despite it. It's about standing your ground, even when the odds are stacked against you. Second, heroism isn't always about grand gestures. It can be found in the quiet moments too, in the decisions that save lives and the resolve to keep going, no matter what. Lastly, true heroes aren't born. They're made in the crucible of adversity, shaped by the trials they face, and defined by the courage they show in the face of danger. So, when pondering bravery and heroism, remember these stories. Remember the courage that shines through in the darkest of times, and the unwavering resolve that defines true heroes. And know that such bravery, such heroism, exists in every corner of the Indian Air Force, and indeed in every one of us.
What happens when the skies darken not with storm clouds, but with the ominous hum of fighter jets? This isn't just a rhetorical question. It's a glimpse into a day that shifted the balance in a fierce conflict. Today, we delve into the heart-stopping tale of Wing Commander Vikram Singh and his squadron as they embarked on a mission that would etch their names into the annals of military history. It was a day like any other in the serene skies over India. But for Wing Commander Singh, it was the culmination of months of meticulous planning. The mission was clear: infiltrate the airspace of the Crimson Wolves, a formidable terrorist group that had plagued peace for too long, and dismantle their operations from within. The planning phase was a masterclass in precision and strategy. Singh and his team pored over countless maps and intelligence reports, identifying the enemy's key installations. Every possible outcome was simulated, with strategies tailored for each. The element of surprise was their greatest ally, and timing was critical. Output. As dawn broke on D-Day, the airbase was a hive of activity. The roar of engines filled the air as Singh and his squadron of elite pilots took to their jets. Hearts raced, but focus remained sharp, the weight of their task undeniable. Flying low to avoid radar detection, the squadron made their way into enemy territory. The tension was palpable, the silence of the cockpit punctuated only by the occasional crackle of communication. As they neared their target, the serene sky was shattered by the sudden barrage of anti-aircraft fire. With nerves of steel, Singh led the charge. Dodging flak and maneuvering with an agility that only the most skilled pilots possess, they pressed forward. Then, with a precision that spoke of unerring practice and skill, they unleashed their payload on the enemy's installations. Explosions lit the horizon, a fiery testament to the squadron's accuracy and the potency of their assault. But the mission was far from over. With the enemy's defenses in disarray, Singh seized the opportunity to strike further, crippling their ability to retaliate. It was a ballet of jets in the sky, each move choreographed to perfection, each strike hammering the final nails into the Crimson Wolves' coffin. As they made their way back to base, the squadron knew they had achieved more than just a military victory. They had delivered a blow to the morale of the Crimson Wolves. The aftermath of the raid was telling. The group's operations were significantly disrupted, their hold on the region weakened, and their plans thrown into disarray. This raid did not just signify a tactical win, it was a symbol of resilience and courage. It showcased the strategic brilliance of the Indian Air Force and underscored the nation's commitment to eradicating terrorism. Wing Commander Vikram Singh and his squadron had not only turned the tide of the battle, but had also affirmed that the skies, no matter how ominous, would always belong to the brave. In the grand tapestry of conflict, each thread tells a story of courage, strategy, and sometimes the sheer will to overcome overwhelming odds. The raid by Wing Commander Vikram Singh and his team is one such thread, a vivid stroke of valor on the canvas of military history.
What if you had to fight, not just an enemy, but the very elements themselves? Imagine the piercing cold, the biting wind, and the thin air of the Himalayas as your battlefield. This is the tale of Wing Commander Vikram Singh, whose story transcends the mere clashing of arms. It's a saga of survival, strategy, and the indomitable human spirit. In the early days of summer, the skies above Ladakh, a region veiled in both beauty and strife, bore witness to an escalating tension. As a wing commander, Vikram Singh was no stranger to the skies, but the land beneath him was now a chessboard of military maneuvering. The thin air at such altitudes makes every breath a labor, every step a conquest against nature itself. Vikram recalls the morning when the conflict erupted. The tranquility of the dawn was shattered by the roar of jets and the distant thuds of artillery. As he suited up, his heart raced, not with fear, but with a fervent patriotism. Each pilot under his command knew the risks. The stakes were as high as the peaks surrounding them. The mission was clear: secure the airspace, provide support to the ground troops, and ensure the sovereignty of the nation. As Vikram soared into the azure skies, the earth below was a mosaic of harsh, unyielding terrain and patches of snow that glinted like shards of glass under the sun. The aerial skirmishes were not just about tactics and weaponry, they were about resilience. The cold was relentless, seeping into the cockpit and numbing fingers that were crucial for operation. One particular encounter remains etched in Vikram's memory: a close combat with an enemy jet. The dance was deadly, a test of precision and wills. Maneuvering his aircraft through the razor-thin margins between victory and catastrophe, Vikram felt a connection to his machine. It was an extension of his will. The cost of conflict was palpable. Each sortie took its toll, not just on fuel and ammunition, but on human spirit. Yet amidst this chaos, there was camaraderie, an unspoken bond that formed between soldiers. In the evenings, when the cold seeped into their bones, stories of home and hope warmed their hearts. The conflict eventually drew to a close, not with a decisive victory, but with a mutual withdrawal. The echoes of jets faded, but the scars on the landscape remained, a reminder of the thin line between peace and war. Reflecting on those days, Vikram understands that the conflict was a microcosm of the broader tensions that simmer in the region. In the quiet that now blankets the Himalayas, there lies a hope for lasting peace, a testament to the resilience and bravery of those like Wing Commander Vikram Singh, who soared above adversity, not just to battle an enemy, but to uphold the spirit of their nation.